Making homemade ramen using Trader Joe's groceries. Hello, hello. Today I'm going to show you how I make ramen using only Trader Joe's groceries. I use a carrot, an egg. I like the Thai wheat noodles, garlic, shallot, some chicken breasts, which I'm going to cook in the oven. And I'll use olive oil and the 21 seasoning salute on the chicken. Using the olive oil, make sure the chicken doesn't dry out. And here's the cost. So it's only $4.50 per serving. Also, I use separate knives and cutting boards. I have this one for my veggies and this one for my meats. I also use 2 separate knives. The Cutco one is for the meat and my very, very old cutting knife for the veggies. Here we go. Always rinse off the meat. And then I cut it into small pieces. You don't need big chunks of ramen. Oh, I forgot. Preheat your oven to 375. Get back to cutting up the ramen. Again, you see they're little pieces. I do keep some of the fat in. It'll cook down and mix with the juices just a little bit. But I separate it from the chicken. Some pieces I do throw away. They're little pieces. Okay, that's the chicken. Chicken, we'll let some of it drain off. Oh, now I have to wash my hands again. Okay, I should have done this. Now, my hands again. And you'll see the chicken, season that 21 seasoning salute, and some olive oil. Mix this thoroughly. And put it into a baking pan. we'll put this in the oven. And set a timer for 15 minutes. There. Now, juice that may have gotten onto the counter, clean that off. We're not using that rag again. Put away the spices. And the chicken can go back in the fridge because I'll make something else with that. And now we're going to take an egg and we're going to boil one egg. The eggs back. Now, for the carrot. So I do want to make some rum in my sink because I like to cut my veggies or peel my veggies over the sink. It makes it easier putting into my compost bin. So we're just going to use one carrot. It's a good sized carrot. In the strainer. This is where it gets a little messy sometimes, but I found if you slow down and peel, it doesn't fly all over the place as much. Looking now. It's New Year's Day, and there's a festival going on outside. That's why you hear so much music. And there's nothing I can do about it. So, put that to the side. And here are the sliced carrots. Now, I'm going to do cut up the shallot. I may only use half of it. It keeps getting loud. At some point, I may put the video on mute. So, I'll cut in half and see how much that gives me. And this is the shallot. So I'm dicing this up as small as I can. Hear the water boiling. I will check on the egg. Yep, it's boiling pretty well. So I think that's enough for the shallot. Now, let's do maybe 2 garlic cloves. These are pretty big cloves. I love garlic, so if there's a little too much for me, it is perfect. You may only like 1 clove of garlic instead of 2. I like lots of garlic. And again, all the food scraps you see me throwing into the sink, I will put into my little composter and bring it to the compost garden near me. Since I don't have a balcony anymore, I cannot compost at home. Garlic. I'm going to turn off the egg because that should have boiled enough. Now, Thai wheat noodles, they come in boxes of 3. I'm going to use 1. Now before we do that, I'm going to put the shallots, carrots, and garlic in a frying pan. I put it on a low setting. I'll put a little, don't need much, because I'm going to put water in this. A little olive oil. Well, actually, I can turn it up so it'll go a little faster. want this to more so warming it up and letting the flavors mix. Get a better look at that. And I'll put this in, the noodles in afterwards. I will put my other veggies away. It's good to constantly clean up after yourself. That leaves less of a mess when it's time for you to eat. Constantly clean. And let's check on the chicken. Oh yeah, this looks really, really, really good. So with the juice and all, I'm going to throw it right in with the veggies. Put that up so that the chicken pieces remain small. That was the timer for the chicken. May not seem like it, but it was in for 15 minutes. Now, wash my hands again. Take the noodles. And as I said, they're already cooked. So we want to loosen them up so it's not just one big blob of noodles. You want them loose. Then I had some water left in my kettle, so I'm putting some water. And I'm putting this on high. And we can put some more 21 Seasoning Salute in there. And put away items. And whenever you get takeout and you get these napkins, save them. They're great for random cleanup. Bowl ready. Also, want to get our egg. Sometimes the shell comes off great and sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, try and use a spoon to get under the shell. There we go. Some more water on it. Not so pretty, but good. And we'll put that on the side. And ramen is bubbling up. In case there's any spillage as I'm trying to put it into the bowl. Stove. Now I'm going to cut the egg in half, but I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the knife. To make it glide through. And for a close-up look, here's the ramen. And that's a good size bowl. Here's my hand. So that's a really good size bowl. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Bye.